Welcome to the Racehorse Digest. I'm Jeff Metters. Let's get to the races. Our feature this week takes us to Monmouth Park for the 30th running of the $1 million Buick Haskell Invitational. The winner here getting a check worth $600,000. Plus, if you're a previous Grade 1 winner, Monmouth will throw in a $250,000 bonus. Here are the conditions. The Haskell is Grade 1, going 1 1/8 miles, and it is by invitation only. There are no entry, nomination, or starting fees. The one horse, A Firm Success, has been scratched. Touch Gold ended Silver Charm's bid to win the Triple Crown, winning the Belmont Stakes. David Hoffman's is the trainer, and regular rider Chris McCarron is in the irons. Freehouse carved out his own Triple Crown story this year, finishing 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, 2nd in the Preakness, and 3rd in the Belmont. Paco Gonzalez is the trainer. The 4-horse is Tail of the Cat, the much-celebrated son of Storm Cat. He has only 2 starts, but he's won them both impressively. Julie Crone has been aboard for both wins. Frisk Me Now has won the Ohio Derby, the Flamingo, and the Hutchison this year. And the Bobby Baffert-trained Annette rounds out the field. David Flores was scheduled to ride, but a spill at Del Mar on Friday put him in the hospital. He's out with a broken vertebrae. Gary Stevens is the replacement. For the call of the Haskell, which aired on ESPN here this weekend, here's Larry Colmus.
In the Buick Haskell, and they broke it a perfect line to a roar of the crowd. And Tail of the Cat came out running. Freehouse is right there to the inside, and Annette is going for the lead as expected now. But he's got company from Tail of the Cat. Julie Crone will try to throttle back his speed. Annette takes over. Tail of the Cat taken back to 2nd on the inside. He's in toward the rail. And Freehouse is sitting close in 3rd, only a length from the lead. Frisk Me Now caught 4 wide, and Frisk Me Now is getting close up too. Chris McCarron will have Touch Gold in the back of the pack. The quarter 22 and 3, only 4 lengths from front to back. They're not going to let Annette go. There's Freehouse. Freehouse going after Annette. Frisk Me Now racing in the 3-path, and right there, Tail of the Cat still keyed up, 4th on the inside. And these 4 are across the track down the backstretch. Chris McCarron has a very tight hold of Touch Gold. He's only 3 from the lead, and they've run a half mile in 46 and 1. It's a jockey's race from here. Annette is in front. There goes Julie Crone, sending Tail of the Cat through on the inside. Freehouse is right there in the 3-path. Frisk Me Now is 4 wide. Touch Gold has not been let loose yet. It's Tail of the Cat. He's in front around the far turn. Can he be this good? Annette is right there. Freehouse racing 3rd. 3 of them lining up at the top of the stretch. And the battle lines are drawn for a classic conflict. 3/4 in 109 and 4. Tail of the Cat holding on to the lead with a furlong to run. An amazing race from him. Here's Annette and the Belmont winner moving up on the far outside. Touch Gold, and Touch Gold takes the lead. He's going to win the Buick Haskell.
Touch Gold, powered by a big stretch drive, catches Annette to win the Buick Haskell Invitational. The son of Deputy Minister has now won 3 of his last 4 for trainer David Hoffman's and owners Frank Stronach and Stonerside Stable. He earns $850,000 for the win, and he is Thoroughbred Racing's newest millionaire. His total earnings now for his career, more than $1.5 million. The Baffert-trained Annette was 2nd. Freehouse was 3rd. Following the race, we had a chance to talk to the winning connections.
As you can tell, I'm last, but he's really pulling me out of the saddle, and I'm happy with the position I had. And then as we got around the turn, I noticed that Frisk Me Now was starting to run out of gas a little bit, so I elected not to run around all 4 of them, and I was just going to come outside of Freehouse. And when I found this little hole right here to go, it was all over. He just threw me in the back seat, and I gave him a couple of taps for insurance. I remembered the size of the purse and the prestige and everything, so I figured, well, I'll just go ahead and make him run to the wire.
We had the master here who can, you know, keep an elephant away from a bale of hay. So he was able to get this horse back, relax down the backside, take some dirt, and picked his spot perfectly. Rode him just like I would have.
Here's a look at the full order of finish. Freehouse at disappointing 3rd, and Tail of the Cat suffering the first loss of his career. He finishes 4th. With the 3rd place finish, Freehouse is now just a point behind Silver Charm in the race for the Visa 3-year-old championship. With Silver Charm on the sidelines for the remainder of the year, Freehouse looks to be unstoppable, although he will take a few weeks rest. Touch Gold, known for his big driving finish, though. In this race, he may have waited too long to make his move. The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by the United States Trotting Association, leading the way in harness racing. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Gainsborough Farm.
This week at Rancho La Puerta, I will swim 310 laps. I will run 23 miles. I will lift 2 hours a day. I don't think so.
At Rancho La Puerta Spa in Baja, Mexico, you can do everything. Well, should your determination completely fail you, absolutely nothing. But you can't do anything with American Express. So bring your Visa card. It's everywhere you want to be.
Great moments in racing are the results of months of hard work and hope, years of planning and persevering, and generations of successful bloodlines. For nearly 2 decades, Walmack has contributed to some of racing's most exciting moments, with young stallions like Group 1 winner and leading third crop sire Septi MCL, sire of 1996 multiple graded stakes winner Cesium Sans among his 18 lifetime stakes horses. At Walmack, we're working to make every moment count.
Daryl dropped in. Beef. Beef and spice. Step into a Slim Jim.
In days of yore, suitors wooed maidens with treasures from afar, acts of chivalry, and plenty of closet space. These days, you can give yourself gifts of gold and silver. Nuggets from Hershey, 2 rich bites of Hershey's chocolate, one of life's little rewards.
Fastest athlete, the American quarter horse, everyone's All-American.
The road to American Quarter Horse Racing's richest event, the $2 million All-American Futurity, took a westward turn this past weekend. Los Alamitos Racecourse in Southern California presented one of its most important summer 2-year-old races, the $210,000 Ed Burke Memorial Futurity. Fastest qualifier was the nation's top-ranked juvenile, Corona Cash. She had already won the Grade 1 Governor's Cup Futurity and was the odds-on favorite to win the Ed Burke.
And away they go. Corona Cash and Straw Fly and Buds fly on by you, and that's a great jazz. Hit a run and sneaky fast. All came away well, but Corona Cash is putting on a powerful performance. And Corona Cash and Tammy Purcell. This is a run to the All-American Futurity. Corona Cash, that's a great jazz at game second. Very tight for third, but Corona Cash will go to Ruidoso Downs for the All-American.
Another dynamic effort from Corona Cash, who parlayed her best gate break ever into a 1-length victory over the long shot on the board. That's a great jazz. Corona Cash is owned by Jeremar Limited, trained by Donna MacArthur, and ridden by Tammy Purcell. And since she's somewhat of a nervous Nellie away from the track, Corona Cash will be flown to New Mexico for the All-American Futurity Trials later this month. Donna MacArthur's husband, James, will take over the training, while Donna stays in California with the other stable stars, including world champion Dashing Folly. And join me for live coverage of the All-American Futurity this Labor Day at 5:30 Eastern on ESPN2. The MBNA America Racing Challenge also featured the 2-year-old division on the West Coast with a $33,000 California Juvenile Challenge. Another strong favorite here, number 6, Mr. Strawfly to You.
And away they go. And Mr. Strawfly to You came away on top on the far outside as A Perfect Stranger. Fickle Dan's also right there on A Perfect Stranger and Mr. Strawfly to You. Both going strongly, but Joe Badia riding super confident on Mr. Strawfly to You. And Mr. Strawfly to You wins easily over A Perfect Stranger, and Pennant's Headlight was third.
Despite a stumble at the start, Mr. Strawfly to You dominates the challenge field under jockey Joe Badia Jr. The improving gelding took 3 tries to break his maiden, but since then, his only loss was to the aforementioned Corona Cash in the Governor's Cup Futurity Finals. Mr. Strawfly to You is owned by the Double Bar S Ranch and is trained by Dan Francisco. This victory makes him eligible for the $100,000 AQHA Juvenile Challenge in November. Now his connections are considering the $50,000 supplemental entry payment to the All-American Futurity Trials. Welcome to the party. And we'll have more American Quarter Horse Racing action on ESPN2 for you this Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific Time. Join us for Today at the Races. For more information on American Quarter Horse activities in your area, call the AQHA at 1-800-414-RIDE.
One light beer knocked out the competition in 1994, 95, and 96. The gold medal winner at the Great American Beer Festival. Pabst Genuine Draft Light, the best tasting light beer in America. What do you get when you strip away all the glitz, all the athletes, all the bikinis? You get a great beer at a great price. Pabst Genuine Draft, the genuine difference.
Talk to me about 25 February.
His job is just to investigate the facts.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Dutch on 3! We're going down!
Quickly.
I want the White House off my back.
But he may find out what no one wants to hear.
I'm gonna find out the truth, I guarantee you that.
Someone has got to be accountable for this.
Denzel Washington, Meg Ryan, Courage Under Fire. In August on HBO.
To order HBO, call 771-8100.
Racing is getting tight as Paul Tracy, Greg Moore, Alex Zanardi, and Michael Andretti head to Mid-Ohio. It's Miller 200 time, Sunday on ABC Sports.
In upstate New York over the weekend, a very exciting race from Saratoga Racecourse. The Grade 1 $350,000 Whitney opened to 3-year-olds and up, going 1 1/8 miles. Carolyn Hines Skipaway was ready to do battle again with his old rival, Will's Way. Here's Tom Durkin with the call.
Will's Way on the outside, Formal Gold on the inside, Skipaway in behind him. Will's Way, Formal Gold, they are inseparable with the furlong to go. Bailey all over Will's Way, DeSormo all over Formal Gold, neither giving an inch. Skipaway, not today. Formal Gold tenacious, Will's Way unwavering. Will's Way, Formal Gold in a thriller in the Whitney, which was won by Will's Way by a nostril.
Will's Way prevails over trainer William Perry's Formal Gold by a nose. The nearly even money favorite Skipaway finished far back in third. The 4-year-old Will's Way, last year's victor in the Travers Stakes, is the son of the recently inducted Hall of Famer Easy Goer. Like father, like son, Easy Goer also won the Whitney as well as the Travers. Owned by Rutland Stable and trained by Jim Bond, Will's Way ran the 1 1/8 miles in a time of 1:48.1. Wayne Lucas's entry of editor's note finished in fourth. Another 1 1/8 miles race from Saratoga, the Grade 2 $250,000 Jim Dandy for 3-year-olds. Trainer Jim Bond's Barons on the board as the favorite, with owner Frank Stronach's Awesome Again being the second choice.
Awesome Again rallying fifth on the outside as the field turns for home. They're at the top of the stretch. A Firm Success, been running hard the whole way, and he's still in front as they come to the 8th pole. On the outside, Glitman giving his all. Awesome Again continues to close in the final furlong. Here comes Awesome Again on the outside, who charges to the lead. It's Awesome Again in front. A Firm Success second. Glitman, Barons takes to the outside. Awesome Again wins by 3.
Awesome Again lived up to his name here for the second straight time after capturing the June 29th Queen's Plate at Woodbine in only his 3rd career start. Awesome Again is owned by Frank Stronach, also the owner of Haskell Winter Touch Gold, and is trained by David Hoffmans. The 3-year-old colt is by Deputy Minister out of Primal Force. Jockey Mike Smith was aboard for the win on the very sloppy track. John Kimmel's Glitman was second by a length, and the favorite, Barons, ridden by Jerry Bailey, was third. Let's go across the country to beautiful Del Mar Racetrack for the 24th running of the Grade 1 $300,000 Eddie Reed Handicap, going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. Bettor's choice here was Wayne Lucas's Marlin.
5/16 to go in the Eddie Reed, and Expelled, the long shot, trying to cause an upset. Expelled goes on for home. He's running strongly too as Expelled. He's clear by 5 now. Marlin is second. Labib is backing up at the rail. He did not go on. Alangelo's smooth runner coming late with Naninya. They homeward bound, and Expelled now getting weary. Alangelo coming to get him in the center of the track, and Marlin between horses. Expelled, Alangelo. Expelled suddenly finds more, and he's going to hang on gamely, and Expelled has won the Eddie Reed from Alangelo. Marlin third, and Smooth Runner a close fourth.
As a first-timer in a North American Stakes race, Expelled takes the Eddie Reed Handicap. The long shot, owned by Juddmonte Farms and trained by Robert Frankel, ran the race in 1:48.3. The 5-year-old Expelled began his racing career in France, where he won the Grade 3 Prix du Bois in June of '94. Wayne Lucas's 3-2 favorite Marlin didn't find the turf to his liking and finished third under jockey Corey Nakatani. On Saturday was the 40th running of the Ramona at Del Mar, a Grade 1 worth $300,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, going 1.1 miles on the grass. Chris McCarron got the ride on the favorite, Different. Here's Trevor Denman with the call.
At the top of the lane, as Cena comes to get the lead, Different in the white on the outside, and Real Connection, the grey on the grandstand side. Homeward bound as Cena's the leader, Different in the white, Real Connection on the grandstand side. Donna Viola getting involved late, but it's a Cena and Pat Day in full flight for the wire in the Ramona, and it's going to be a Cena to score. A Cena, Real Connection, Different was third.
Making her second grass start, Alan Paulson's Asina wins the Ramona by 3/4 of a length over Melvin Studi's Real Connection. Asina is trained by Bill Mott and was ridden by Pat Day. The 4-year-old bay filly by the late Strawberry Road out of Claxton Slough was 5th in her last outing in the Grade 1 Hempstead on June 28th. The favorite, Different, held on to third by 3.5 lengths, and Gary Tanaka's Donna Viola, the second favorite on the card, came in for 4th. Let's go to the Midwest and Arlington Racecourse in Illinois for the 64th running of the 1.25 mile Arlington Handicap Stake, a Grade 2, $150,000 purse open to 3-year-olds and up. Stonerside Stables' Irish-bred Volo Sheen went to the post as the favorite.
As they come to the top of the stretch, Stormtrooper letting go 3 deep is quickly on the attack. Wild Event still with his head in front, but Stormtrooper ambles up on the outside. He's going better at the 8th pole. Stormtrooper, Wild Event is kicking back along the inside. Stormtrooper just in front. Wild Event is very game on the inside. Wild Event matching Stormtrooper. They're clear of Chaw 1. Wild Event, Stormtrooper. Wild Event just in front of Stormtrooper, and Wild Event beats Stormtrooper.
Arthur Appleton's Wild Event, a co-entry with Seattle Blossom, picked up his 3rd grass victory and his first graded stakes win for trainer Lou Goldfine. The 4-year-old colt by Wild Again out of north of Eden was ridden by jockey Mark Guidry. The bay held off Neil Drysdale's Stormtrooper, the second choice in the race, by a head. Trainer Niall O'Callahan's Volo Sheen finished 6 3/4 lengths behind the leader. As we head to break, here's a look at the Breeders' Cup action scheduled for this weekend. It includes the Miami Breeders' Cup Handicap at Calder and the Saratoga Breeders' Cup Handicap.
We created Western Pacific Airlines with a very simple formula. First, build a fleet of modern, efficient aircraft. Next, provide low-fare service to great destinations from coast to coast. Then, assemble a hard-working team of experienced professionals whose #1 job is to make flying fun. That's our formula for success. That's Western Pacific Airlines.
Down the stretch, and Hansel is in front. Now throws off by 2, then...
If you're ready to quit smoking, you should know this. One patch is better at calming the morning cravings that tempt you to reach for that first cigarette. That patch is Nicoderm CQ. You can wear CQ 24 hours if you crave a cigarette when you wake up. And CQ is better than Nicotrol at calming morning cravings. You bring the commitment, Nicoderm CQ brings the rest. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to quit successfully.
Is it in good? A length and a half. Cleante flashing. Is it in good? Is it in good? Won it. The next to Cleante.
Time to get caught up on the world of harness racing. I'm Dave Johnson. The Breeders' Crown kicked off its 14th season of divisional championship harness races last Saturday afternoon at the Meadowlands, with 3 stakes for older trotters and pacers, worth in excess of $1 million. Topping the program was the $540,000 Breeders' Crown Open Trot. The star-studded 10-horse field included the great 4-year-old mare Moneymaker and the Raz McKenzie-trained 4-5 favorite Westgate Crown. And the race set up perfectly for those two after Party Party and $50,000 late supplemental entry Mac Action dueled throughout blistering early fractions.
3/16 to go, and they're at the top of the stretch. And Mac Action, been hard used every step of the way. Well, now here comes Campbell with Westgate Crown bursting on the scene. And it's Westgate Crown, Moneymaker, the mare on the outside. In deep track, Westgate Crown trying to hold off Moneymaker. Westgate Crown has done it.
Owned by Paul and John Simons of Ontario, Westgate Crown's victory was his 5th in 10 starts this season and added to the Breeders' Crown title he won as a 2-year-old back in 1993. The $300,000 Breeders' Crown Open Pace was to be the final race in the career of Armbro Operative. And with the pace-setting Village Connection laboring down the stretch, the 1996 Breeders' Crown champ had his eyes set on back-to-back titles.
3/16 to go. They're on their way home. And Village Connection leads it by 2. Bruno from the train horses. Hot lead. Here comes LaChance and Armbro Operative. Then it's another 2 more to the Wrath of Pan. In deep track. It's Armbro Operative and Mike LaChance in front.
Owned by Thomas Walsh Jr. of New York and David McDuffie of New Hampshire, Armbro Operative will stand stud in New Zealand with career earnings of over $1 million. The $282,000 Breeders' Crown Mare Pace was headed by the 2-5 favorite Sister Tammy and the supplemental entry Cammie Whitestocking. But those two sped past the 3/4 mark in an eye-popping 122 clip, which was just fine for driver John Campbell and the come-from-behind specialist Extreme Velocity.
In deep track, Extreme Velocity flying along the inside. Who's on? But it's Extreme Velocity and John Campbell in 158.
Owned by the Stoller Brothers Harness Horses Incorporated of Indiana, the 4-year-old mare's 5th victory this season in 7 starts was her first win outside of her home state and her home track, Hoosier Park. The $1 million Hambletonian will be the showcase event this Saturday afternoon at the Meadowlands. And in the first of 3 eliminations held last weekend to determine the 10 finalists, trainer-driver Tron Smedshammer cut the fastest mile with Bowlin' for Dollars, holding off Take Chances by a neck in 1:53 and 4. Malvern Burrows and the undefeated 1-10 favored Malabar Man went virtually unchallenged in their elimination, cruising to a 1 1/2 length victory over Meadow Branch Lucky in 1:55 and 1. The 3rd and final elimination went to Yankee Glide and driver Bernt Lindstedt, who passed the tiring pace setter Armbro Plato in mid-stretch en route to a 1-length score over Vaporize in 1:55 and 1. Malabar Man will be sent off as the Hambletonian favorite on Saturday afternoon, and it will undoubtedly be his toughest race yet. Bowlin' for Dollars bared his teeth in his elimination, and Yankee Glide will also come into the race in the best form of his career.
Get inside the world of harness racing by subscribing to the award-winning publication of the United States Trotting Association, Hoofbeats. Each month, you'll enjoy news and in-depth features on top horses, drivers, owners, trainers, and major races, all in a colorful, photo-filled format, and all for only $30 for 12 great issues. Call 614-224-2291 and ask to subscribe to the best harness racing has to offer, Hoofbeats.
Paul and the rail. Me. twice. Never do a Slim Jim.
Honey, let's fix up that fence.
Too much money, too much work.
Introducing Thompson's Fence Care. Clean and protect for just pennies a square foot.
Hey, who did the fence?
She did.
Dirt's out, color's in. Thompson's Fence Care.
Hey, man. ESPN serving up a summer of love, love, love. The Great American Insurance ATP Championships. Coverage continues tomorrow at 3:30 on ESPN and 7:30 on ESPN2. Advantage you, man.
The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by the American Quarter Horse Association, serving the American quarter horse racing industry and America's horse. By Western Pacific, with low-fare Boeing jet service to cities coast to coast. And by Alan and Madeline Paulson's Brookside Farms. In our Brookside news, jockey Jose Santos won his 3,000th race of his career, reaching that milestone at Saratoga last weekend. The 36-year-old native of Chile has won 5 Breeders' Cup races, 3 Whitneys, the Haskell, the Florida Derby, and 2 Jockey Club Gold Cups. Congratulations to Jose. Also in Saratoga, the Thoroughbred Racing Hall of Fame opened its doors to a new class. For the details, here's Chris Lincoln.
From the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame in Saratoga Springs, New York, the class of 1997 is being inducted on Monday morning here. 6 into the Hall of Fame. Let's meet them. The horse of yesteryear, Granville, the 1936 Belmont winner and horse of the year. The great race mare, Bold and Determined, enters the Hall of Fame. Winner of 16 of 20 career starts from 1979 through 81, trained by Neil Drysdale. The late Michael G. Walsh, native of Ireland, steeplechase trainer for 50 years in this country, won 6 national steeplechase titles. A very popular selection, the trainer P.G. Johnson, training for 54 years. At age 71, he's still going strong. His horses have won more than 2,100 races. 8 times he's been New York's champion trainer. We asked him what going into the Hall of Fame meant to him.
It means more than the Triple Crown or 2 Derbies or 3 Derbies. It means a lot to me and my family because they're part of it. I mean, I wouldn't want to do this alone.
The modern thoroughbred enshrined, the great easy goer, the 1989 Belmont winner, remembered for his dramatic Triple Crown battles with Sunday Silence. He earned more than $4.8 million in his career, owned and bred by Ogden Phipps. The jockey enshrined, Gary Stevens, 3-time Kentucky Derby winner, including this year on Silver Charm. And Gary knows you don't make it to the Hall of Fame on your own.
No, there's been family, there's been great trainers, great owners, and most of all, great horses. And regardless of what anyone says, I couldn't be here without riding great horses.
With the 1997 class of inductees to racing's Hall of Fame, I'm Chris Lincoln for the Racehorse Digest.
Congratulations to the class of 97, but the racing goes on. This weekend on ESPN, as part of our Racing to the Breeders' Cup series, we'll have live coverage of the Pacific Classic from Del Mar. Richard Mandela will saddle the race's top 2 contenders, Siphon and Hollywood Gold Cup winner, Gentleman. Join Dave Johnson and Charles C. Canning for the action. That's this Saturday at 5:30 Eastern Time. That's the Digest. Chris Lincoln will be back next week. So long, everyone. Ground transportation provided by Thrifty Car Rental with airport and neighborhood locations worldwide. For reservations, call your travel agent or 1-800-4CAR. Air transportation provided by Western Pacific Airlines. You'll enjoy Western Pacific's young and colorful all-Boeing jet fleet, and you'll love their low fares to cities coast to coast. This has been an ESPN Sports presentation. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.